If you have foggy or damp window panes right now, you need to act immediately before something happens. Because in the worst case, this leads to mold, which can even affect your health, and I'll show you 5 tips on what you can do about it now. Because damp windows are the biggest warning sign that there's significantly too much humidity in your apartment, and this always causes mold after a certain time. The very first thing you should do immediately is remove the moisture by wiping over all your window panes and also the frames with an absorbent towel. And then we'll get straight to the causes of the damp and foggy windows. One reason, for example, is that you ventilate far too rarely or even ventilate incorrectly. Because if you only ever leave the window tilted, that's definitely not enough, as it only cools the masonry, but no air exchange takes place to transport the high humidity outside. Since the masonry around the windows is now cold, moisture can settle here even more easily and mold develops even faster. That is exactly why you should make sure to air out your home regularly for 5 to 15 minutes, and ideally with a strong cross breeze. That means you really need to open all of the windows at the same time to effectively get all the humidity out. You should do this 2 to 4 times a day. You'll notice a significant improvement if you do it regularly, because your windows shouldn't fog up or get so damp anymore. But there are other reasons that can influence the whole thing. Proper heating is also extremely important, because if the room temperature is far too low, more humidity can occur and settle on the walls. Therefore, make sure that the room temperature never falls below 16 degrees. Ideally, well before moisture can even begin to settle on your windows, you should make sure to effectively remove the humidity from your apartment. A hygrometer like this, which shows you the humidity, is very suitable for this. Because here you can see beforehand if the humidity in your rooms is too high, so you can act quickly and ventilate in time. Since these are usually combination devices, you can also see the room temperature directly to determine if you need to heat a bit more or less. Another effective method that can help to reduce the moisture on your windows a bit is grabbing an old clean sock. Now you should carefully fill it with some fresh cat litter until it's about half full, and then securely tie a firm knot in it. You can now prepare several such socks and always place them on your windowsills, because the moisture will now first be absorbed into the cat litter. This can really absorb a large amount of excess moisture, so it simply can't accumulate or condense on your windows or your walls. A dehumidifier like this, which you can set up in your apartment, can also be very helpful. It filters the air and pulls out all the moisture. At the bottom, you usually have a larger collection container where all the moisture accumulates. Once you've let it run for a while, you'll be very surprised at how much moisture actually collects in the end, which otherwise would have ended up on your walls. You should also make sure that the air can circulate well around your heater. That means putting furniture directly in front of the heater is not a good idea. By doing that, you're just making sure the warm air stays right there by the heater and doesn't circulate through the room. If you find that you can't move the furniture away from your heater, or if you just want the air to circulate much better than it does now, you should get yourself some radiator fans. I'll show you how you can even save on heating costs in the video you see on the screen right now. Just click on it and check it out.